I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm standing here with Irene Haney, who is the president of the Guild of the Cape Cod Symphony Orchestra, with a lot of buzz around us because we happen to be at one of Meet the Artist Talks, and that's just what I'm going to talk to Irene about today.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you
I'm
doing?
fine, thank you.
It's wonderful to see all the people coming in.
Thank you.
I want to talk first about you and your role with the Guild.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm a trustee of the symphony, and every trustee has a committee that they run, and mine is the Guild. And I've been doing it now for 5 years. This year I have a co-president with me. That helps because we're doing more and more programs. And these luncheons take place every concert weekend, and Jung Ho, the conductor, comes, and the guest artists come, and they talk to us about the program we're to hear. So people go to the symphony then knowing much more about what to expect, what the music is like. They're enlightening talks, they're fun, and then we have a lovely luncheon and nice company. So we do this every concert weekend.
I think that's spectacular because, as you say, I think it gives the audience that much more of a connection and a personal connection. These seem to be intimate settings right here where you can get up and close and personal with those that are going to perform at the concert. Now, do you have to be a member of the Guild to do that? Tell me a little bit about the Guild itself and
the Guild
what the role
itself is probably now about 8 years old, but it's grown a lot in the last 5 years. We have about 160 members, and we are basically a volunteer organization, and our mission is to raise money for all the educational programs. So that's what we do in various ways. The luncheon is one way. You can come to the luncheons as a guest. We're happy to have anyone to come, and usually when people come, then they want to continue coming to all of them. Some people come to all of them, some just pick and choose depending on their schedules. So we find them to be a lot of fun, very enlightening, and they're very popular.
Sure. Now tell me a little bit about these educational programs.
There's a whole series of programs that take place. They're actually run out of the conservatory, which is part of our major organization. And the programs take place in the public schools, partly, and they're run by a man named George Shar, who is also a trombonist of the symphony. And he runs these programs at schools all over the Cape, grammar schools, and then there was a program for tickets for high school students to come. They usually include a program that takes place at the school itself, and the children, my favorite is music memory. They listen to music every morning. These are grammar school children, and then they learn who the composer is, what the piece is, and they hear the piece every morning for 5 minutes over their PA systems. And then they have a competition. All the schools that participate in this come to the school, to the Performing Arts Center that we have here at the high school, and they compete with one another. They have teams, and they high-five each other when they win. It's just fabulous.
It's so inspirational.
Yeah.
I've seen it in action, and it fosters this love of classical music. They actually, the conservatory I know has an adult music memory program as well.
Yes, they just started that.
They did, but the kids show up the adults hands down.
Yes, they do. And then the conservatory, of course, has its own programs, educational programs with students and adults as well, classes, private lessons. So they're all part of what we support. And last year, for the first time, we were able to raise $12,000. We run it through a shop also, which we set up at every performance. And because it's in a school, we have to take it down every time, put it back up again. We buy goods, musical kind of goods.
Sure.
And they're very popular as Christmas gifts, hint, hint, to anybody who's watching. And they're very lovely, and that's, another primary source of income for us.
Great. Well, tell our viewers where they can get more information on this
On the
program.
website, if they just go to the Cape Symphony website, it's capesymphony.org, and they look for the Guild, they will find it under volunteer organizations or whatever, and everything is on there. And the luncheons were highlighted in the programs that are on the website, and also that we send to everyone who's interested in tickets for the concerts. And we've made it now a weekend thing, so that when you go to the concerts, you have a whole weekend. You start out with a luncheon on Friday, in which you meet the guest artists and Jung Ho, and then on Saturday, perhaps that's the day you go to your concert, and there's a pre-concert talk for every classics concert before at 7, and then you go to the concert itself. So we encourage people to make kind of a weekend focused around the Cape Symphony, and it's working. We're having a lot of sellouts for our concerts, including this one.
Right. Well, Irene, thank you so much
You're
for your time
welcome.
today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm sitting here with John Stevens, who is performing in the Cape Cod Symphony Orchestra's Music and Martinis. I believe that's the name of the show. So I'm excited to talk to you. We're here at Meet the Artist. He will be talking with the group that the Guild puts on luncheons where they get to ask you all sorts of questions. And I'm thrilled that I have this opportunity to get to chat with you now about this particular program, but really more so your background and your music.
It's an honor for me to be with the Cape Symphony, and I'm very honored to be working with Jung Ho and Nicole and Cerise, all passionate about this era of music that we're doing, 50s and 60s, and so it's just an honor for me to be down here.
Sure, and let's talk about that first, because you're a child of the 80s.
Yes.
And yet you're singing 50s and 60s.
Yes, my parents were traveling with my brother when he played hockey for a while, and so I stayed with my grandparents. And it was there that I really was introduced to Frank Sinatra and Count Basie and Duke Ellington and Tony Bennett and all these fantastic artists that sang the Great American Songbook. And those songs are so classic that even like Paul McCartney now and Carole King are all singing these songs because they live forever, and so these are the best songs ever, and so we're bringing them to life here in the Cape. I'm just so excited.
Before you heard that music, did you have an interest in singing? Has this been a passion of yours? Were you born to sing?
I started singing when I was like 4, just around the house and with my sister and my mom and just in the car, and then my passion for singing. My grandmother was a classically trained pianist who took me to the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra and taught me about music. And then she encouraged me to take piano lessons, and it grew from there. And my grandfather was a big band Sinatra fan, so he really inspired me to jump into this kind of music. And not a lot of people are doing it.
No, they're not. And I know we have to mention, of course, that you were a finalist on American Idol in season 3. What a thrill that was.
It was. I was 16 at the time, the youngest to ever try out for American Idol. I made the cutoff by 3 days, and I was singing this kind of music, which isn't their cup of tea, but it worked, and people liked it.
Right. They even gave you the nickname Teen Martin.
Teen Martin, yes, yes. I guess
and that's
Dean
followed
Martin.
you, Dean
right.
Martin, Dean Martin.
Right, exactly.
But, tell me now, John, I know that you're in Boston. You went to school at Berkeley, and you're really pursuing a career as a full-time musician. How is that?
Well, I teach part-time, 4 days a week, piano and voice lessons. I tour with a big band, the Beantown Swing Orchestra. I'm in a top 40 band as well, singing Beatles and Ray Charles and a whole bunch of other stuff. But my real passion is the stuff that I'm doing with the big band as well as my own music. And it's a little nerve-wracking, not knowing, a year and 2 years from now if I'm going to have gigs. But it's a real passion, and I love it, and I wouldn't do anything else.
That's wonderful to hear and very inspiring. And is that what you share with young vocalists?
Absolutely. Today I'm actually doing a master's class at the community college with a couple high school students that I'll be working with. I guess tutoring them on how to better their vocal style and their performance.
Sure. What a thrill. What a thrill for them. I'm sure that for many of them, what you say today or direct them will change their lives as well.
Absolutely.
And direction. So let's let our viewers know where they can find information, because you said your music as well. So are you writing and singing your own music?
I went to Berkeley College of Music, so I learned how to, I took a lot of songwriting and arranging and business classes. So johnstevensband.com.
Great.
You can see all my new music and my new music video as well on there. So
wonderful. And then with the Swing Orchestra,
BeantownSwing.com.
Great. Well, lots of ways that we can hear you sing, and I'm just thrilled to meet you. I wish you the most success.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. We've had the opportunity to meet with Irene Haney from the Cape Cod Symphony Orchestra Guild, as well as one of the artists who participated in October's concert. You'll have the opportunity to do the same, to meet the artist ahead of the concert, attend a concert, have a whole weekend of fun and music. Find out all the information right online at capecodsymphony.org.